This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Islands. From the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me.
Home of 4 national landmarks, including the famous Charles W. Morgan, and home of the largest collection of maritime artifacts, Mystic Seaport stands proudly as America's premier maritime museum. Its mission? To inspire an enduring connection to the American maritime experience. And since its founding in 1929, it's done just that for visitors of all ages. When you arrive, you will cross the street into the Visitor Reception Center. Here, our staff will do their best to prepare you for your visit. The Today Sheet will be the single most valuable source of information you have, available to take with you all over the grounds. Daily and seasonal events, demonstrations, and activities can be found right alongside a conveniently numbered map of the entire campus. Now you're ready to begin your day. Following the docks to your left as you enter the museum grounds, you will find the Henry B. DuPont Preservation Shipyard. This shipyard is unique not only to Mystic Seaport, but to the entire country. It is the only shipyard of its kind in the United States, with the facilities, tools, and staff capable of restoring and preserving museum-quality vessels. Feel free to explore, ask questions, and watch our talented shipwrights work equipment both old and new. In the main shop, you can see the massive workspace where countless Mystic Seaport vessels come for regular maintenance away from the elements. Now that you've met the shipyard staff, come see the results of their hard work, and what better place to start than setting foot on the last wooden whale ship in the world, the Charles W. Morgan. Built in 1841 and brought to Mystic 100 years later, the Charles W. Morgan takes visitors back in time to an America still in its youth, where the entire world was lit, fueled, and lubricated with whale oil. Making history once again, the Charles W. Morgan was painstakingly restored, and in the summer of 2014 embarked on the 38th voyage, sailing for the first time since 1921, up the New England coast, visiting numerous ports, sharing her story, and cruising alongside the whales of Stallwagon Bank National Marine Sanctuary. The Charles W. Morgan isn't the only vessel in the museum's collection. From tall ships like the Joseph Conrad, to the seasonal steamboat Sabino, to the fishing schooner L.A. Dutton, we've got ships of all shapes and sizes, including 2 small boat exhibits and an amazing walk-through exploration of the schooner Australia. With so much to see, you might consider a quick tour of the grounds first. For this, the museum offers 2 seasonal options. You can travel by water shuttle for a short tour of the boats on the water, or, for a small fee, climb aboard one of our horse and carriage tours. Populated by historic buildings relocated from across New England, The village represents the 1870s, its people, and the stories they have to tell. Visit the Buckingham Hall House to see authentic hearth cooking. Create a unique print at the Mystic Print Shop and see the trade skills of the 19th century craftsmen in the shipsmith, cooperage, and ship carver shops. Stepping out of the 19th century and into the modern world, the museum exhibit galleries offer a unique indoor experience with several permanent and traveling exhibits on display. Step inside a scaled replica of Nantucket's Brant Point Lighthouse for a panoramic, high-definition presentation on the history and importance of lighthouses across America. In the Mystic River scale model, you'll find an impressive miniature of the Mystic River settlements circa 1850 through 1880. And while the sun may be shining outside, the stars are always alive in the Trugy Planetarium. Check your Today sheet for the daily shows at a small additional fee. With a new 5,000 square foot exhibition space currently under construction, our 3 existing exhibit galleries are home to regularly rotating exhibits. In the past, such exhibits have highlighted tugboats, sea dogs, tattoos, America's fisheries, and the history of the original Amistad. Be sure to check your Today sheet for our current exhibit offerings. We can tell you about all the great things at Mystic Seaport, but the museum is a place you have to explore for yourself. See what interests you. Ask questions. We're here to help connect you to your maritime heritage. To help you on your way, we have knowledgeable interpreters throughout the grounds at all times. Just look for the blue and yellow flags outside of the exhibits. Seaport Security is always willing to help should you lose something. And for any other questions you may have, drop by the seasonal information booth just outside the Visitor Reception Center. With so much to see and do here, it's impossible to experience it all in one day. So Mystic Seaport hopes you'll come to see us again sometime. And if you purchase a membership, you can enjoy unlimited admission throughout the year, absolutely free. Just drop by the membership building or our website for more information. We hope you enjoy your visit to Mystic Seaport, the Museum of America and the Sea.
The Newseum is an experience like no other. Just blocks from the Capitol, it is Washington's hottest new attraction. With 14 galleries and 15 theaters, it's hard to show it all. But here are the 10 must-see features of the Newseum. Come to the Berlin Wall Gallery and see the stark contrast between freedom and oppression. Be there as the free flow of information helps bring this wall down. The 9/11 Gallery features the twisted wreckage of the broadcast antenna from the World Trade Center. The wall of front pages, testament to that tragic day when journalists reported the news that changed our world forever.
You have 9/11 information, you have history. We all can learn something from this, and I recommend anybody and everybody.
News is the first draft of history, and it's all here in the News History Gallery. The Declaration of Independence and hundreds of historic front pages, even some that got it wrong. Artifacts like the door from the Watergate Hotel that led to the downfall of a president, and the lunch counter where a sit-in led to the downfall of segregation. The Pulitzer Prize Photography Gallery has the most complete collection of these award-winning images ever assembled. Experience the power of the moment, from the flag raising at Iwo Jima to the campaign of Barack Obama. Our 4D time travel adventure adds fun and excitement. Be an eyewitness to great stories from the American Revolution to World War II. Hold on to your seats, it's a wild ride.
Very captivating.
G-Men and Journalists is an extraordinary collaboration between the FBI and the Newseum, with artifacts from the FBI's biggest cases, including the cabin where the Unabomber hid out during the FBI's long manhunt. Hear the agents' first-hand accounts of how they finally got their man.
This is it. We found the Unabomber.
The Internet, TV, and Radio Gallery presents the latest in digital news and technology, including the cell phone that captured the tragedy at Virginia Tech. Find out if you have what it takes to be a professional in the interactive newsroom.
I've never been to a museum like this before. Everything is interactive. I haven't been bored once.
Be a photographer and try to capture a dramatic whitewater rescue.
Hang on, Giselle! Someone's going to come out right now!
Or grab a microphone and be a TV reporter.
Reporting live. I'm Tasha.
You can download the video at our website. The Night Studios host real pros like ABC's George Stephanopoulos.
Thrilled to be here.
You never know who you might see here. And to top it off, the Newseum has a spectacular view of our nation's capital. Come here and be there for an experience like no other.
Welcome to Middlebury, Vermont. Whether you're here for an afternoon or a lifetime, there's plenty to do. Stroll through downtown Middlebury and get a feel for the place. Middlebury has a rich academic history to explore, and some excellent museums and galleries to experience. Surrounded by the majestic Green Mountains, Middlebury is an outdoor lover's playground. Explore the fine dining options. And don't miss the local craft breweries that make Vermont famous. At the end of a full day, rest your head at Middlebury's only classic Vermont Country Inn. Middlebury, Vermont. The only thing missing is you.
Welcome to Stuck in Vermont, brought to you by 7 Days. My name is Ava Sahlberger, and we are here at the Middlebury workshop of Danforth Pewter.
Sometimes we'll be in the stores to talk to people and do an event, and they'll say things like, well, I didn't know there was a real Danforth.
Years ago, people used to say, you're too young to own a business. You know, like, now they don't say that anymore.
For 40 years, Judai and Fred Danforth have been creating things like this out of pewter. That's right, they're pewterers.
Our passion is to create and to work with this incredible metal that's so versatile.
I realized what this metal could do, and I became increasingly passionate. Our love grew strong in our apprenticeship when we were learning these techniques.
So many different things can be done with it. It can literally make a button or a beautiful oil lamp and everything in between. So we've been able to just keep moving as our ideas and trends kind of keep moving. We can move with it.
Danforth Pewter dates back to 1975, but the history of pewter in the Danforth family actually goes back to 1755.
This is a teapot made by Josiah Danforth in the 19th century.
Fred's ancestors were pewtersmiths, and right at the heyday in colonial America.
2015 was designated the Year of the Arts by the Vermont legislature, and not many businesses combine both art and commerce the way Danforth Pewter does.
Hard to believe that we've been married almost as long as we've been in business, or is it we've been in business almost as long as we've been married?
We started the business in order to be able to follow our passion and to make things. And the business part of it came because what we decided to make, people liked.
You are still Making things by hand, I see.
Yes, we are tenacious and we're very committed to it.
This is a spinning lathe. It's my home place. It's my happy place. What I do here is I make chucks and I make prototype spinnings and I make one-of-a-kind spinnings. This disc has been carefully rolled in a rolling mill to a very even thickness with no impurities. This is what it looks like after the second spinning. And then we cut out this part, the top, and we solder a bottom on this part, and we put a collar here, and it becomes an oil lamp. The oil lamp was the first thing I designed when we moved into Woodstock to our shop. This is called a spinning tool, and I have lots of different spinning tools. Some of this is just old plumbing, pipes, and some of them are car parts. There's one here that I made out of a Volkswagen steering column. So this is steel, and I use the fulcrum pin to push the softer pewter over the aluminum chuck. I'm self-taught, so I had to learn by exploration and deducing how certain tools were used. It's definitely a lot of practice, a lot of broken pieces, a lot of, frustration, but eventually it's the most fun of anything.
This is my happy place, which is my wax carving bench, where I can take an idea and carve it with these miniature little carving tools, being able to just carve away little bits and bits till I get the design right where I want it to be. I use a lot of different tools. I use files and woodcut tools and various things to get the image the way I want it. And I will end up with a finished model that is the master or the original model for the casting process.
This is a casting. It's a flying pig. It's a custom piece that we do.
It is a flying pig. I wasn't sure for sure.
This has earring designs, cufflink designs.
We start with the product that Judai and Fred design, cast it, finish it, polish it, and ship it all over the world.
I didn't go to school for this. I was Fred and Judai's neighbor. I told them that I needed to get a full-time job, and they said, well, how would you like to be a pewtersmith? Once I get this mold made, I would cast my production models one by one out of there. And then Lois is working on models that I actually cast out of this mold.
And that is a necklace, is that
This
right?
is going to be a necklace.
Each individual pewter piece, no matter what it is, buttons to oil lamps, are handled a lot of times by some really skilled people. We've been able to train people over a period of time to do wonderful things with their hands and produce things that we hope that they're very proud of.
I'm pretty proud to work here.
To watch them celebrate 40 years and know that for more than half of that time I've been a part of the family.
25 years now?
30 years.
Many minds and many hands make things better, in our opinion. We're a team. Transition from craftsmen being retail at the craft fair, the card table with the tablecloth on it or the blanket on the ground, and we've come so far from those days. But that was conscious. That was people in the state saying, we want to elevate our quality and we want to become known beyond the borders of this state, but we want to live in this beautiful, incredible place. Vermont is known and has been for a long time for its amazing quality. So that's been a wonderful thing to be a part of.
We've had so many turns in the road along the way that it's just been an adventure.
In 40 years, many changes, many challenges happen in a business, and if you want to stay with it, you got to stay flexible.
Morgan breed is our domestic original, and its development, foundation sire figure, or Justin Morgan, coming in 1789, just with our history, paralleled colonization of the area and settling of it, clearing of fields and transportation needs, and just the utility work animal. And very maneuverable, very willing, very good disposition, and it's our Vermont state animal. And this Joseph Patel's vision to perpetuate our native equine is, you know, the reason that I'm here, and the reason that this beautiful show place is here. And I think the Morgan is unique, but I'm very biased because it's really the only thing that I've ever worked with, having grown up in Middlebury, Vermont. And they are unique. They're interesting, they're intelligent, they're willing.
Hotel Vermont is personal, purposeful, and natural.
Rustic and modern.
Unique, independent, and unlike anything else.
It's fun, it's exciting, hip and relaxed. It's Vermont, it's Burlington.
Come down for a beer, come stay overnight. We'd love to see you.
We are here in South Burlington, Vermont at the Overlook. And behind me is beautiful Lake Champlain and the Adirondacks. Today we are going to act like tourists, which is something every Vermonter should do. It's fall and the foliage is in full swing. So we're going to be leaf peepers. Take Route 22A down to Shoreham, Vermont, and visit some orchards there on the shores of Lake Champlain.
I'm Whitney Blodgett from Shoreham, Vermont. I've been here all my life. My father he bought an existing orchard in '64. All this was old dairy, and it was all bare everywhere. There was a sentinel pine up on the hillside. We continued that name. This is our 50th year in the Blodgett family. 210 acres of trees. We like to say our average production is 100,000 bushels a year. That's lots of pounds, 4 million pounds or something. 2/3 of our crop is max. And then we have Empires, Spartans, McCowans, all of our fruit. For the most part, the bulk of it is all going